Welcome to part 5 of Freemason School. Today we're going to be looking at this very famous painting here, the so-called creation of Adam, and also the Freemason logo once again and its connections with that very famous painting. First of all, let's just recap here. This is the Masonic logo, and it breaks up into the Greek word aho, which means sorrow. After making the last video though, I had a closer look at it and I realised I can break it into 6 Greek letters, which are alpha, lambda, gamma, omega and he, twice, 2 H's. They're H's in Greek, you pronounce them as a he. But I also realised that this 90-degree square and compass is also opposing sigma. That's the Greek letter sigma. What a mirror image of the letter sigma, which is an S. So you have the he and you have the S, which is the same noise as a snake makes, isn't it? And yeah. So that all fits in once again with all of this serpent type people. And these letters here make up a word called lawyer. And that means words. I mean, if you put it in something like Babelfish, it'll come up and it will say reasons, which, you know, yes, you can use that word in that context, but it's got a duality, so it does refer to words, but it's spelt slightly differently. It should be spelt like this.
But you have to remember that the spelling of words has changed over the years, and of course, as our spelling has changed and the Mason spelling has remained the same, this makes it a little bit more difficult to break the code.
But it's the same thing, and I looked it up on the Wikimedia and I put a link there for you, and it comes up that a word logger means a liar, a deceiver, and to burn. So again, that fits one more time. But what has this got to do now with this very famous painting here? Well, it's got plenty to do with it, because if we take a closer look at this, you'll find that this in fact is another cryptography of the Masonic logo. This gentleman here, who is pretending to be a human being, as you can see, has got his leg up like this. He's put his leg up like that, like a pyramid. Now, all of the body postures and finger postures in this painting are not coincidental. They were deliberately planned. Just let me show you before I carry on. For instance, if you look at this hand underneath what's supposed to be Adam, and it's got a very strange finger signal there, which you may not be able to see too clearly, but that same finger signal is found all the way over here, made by the so-called what's supposed to be God but cannot possibly be God. So it's got exactly the same finger signal there. Now let's just go back, zoom out the painting there. So we've got a pyramid, which is an alpha, and what he's done is he's drawn his hand over his knee in a serpent type posture, and he's making the Masonic letter M as we know it here. You see, both the so-called Adam figure and the so-called God figure are making the so-called Masonic M. But it turns out, you see, that by having a closer look at this Masonic M is in fact, appears to me anyway, to be the letter sigma turned at 90 degrees. Just like we found with the rest of the Masonic logo in the last episode. So it's 2 sigmas which are opposing each other. I'll just zoom in on it and show you again, just here. They are opposing, they're like this together in that way. I'm not going to make the finger signals because anyone makes an issue of it, okay? So it's the sigma, and it's 2 of them, and they're facing each other in this direction, in a sort of like in a mirror manner. Whereas over here on the Masonic logo, they oppose each other. So applying exactly that same logic to this hand signal here, what we've got here is a pyramid, which is an alpha, and we've got the 2 sigmas opposing each other. If we just move them over and rotate them, they become like the double helix on the Masonic logo. So we've got an alpha and we've got a he, and if we look at this arch, the so-called God figure is in, it's an omega. So once again we found the word aho in this painting. Now there's other finger signals in here too, but I don't know what they are. There's this one here, which looks like he's holding a cup, an invisible cup.
It could be a beta or a lowercase epsilon.
And this one that I showed you a minute ago, which again I do not know what it is, but I'm presuming once again that they are something to do with the Greek alphabet.
This does look like a lowercase eta or a lowercase lambda.
And there's feet signals and leg signals. For instance, the legs are crossed over in the same way on the so-called God figure as you would see Jesus Christ allegedly was crucified on the cross with a nail through the tops of his feet rather than his heels. But I think that was his heels. So once again we found the word aho. Now if we apply that logic to other great paintings and buildings and statues and structures, we will find the same thing again. But the important thing to do is to actually find some kind of common denominator with the other finger signals and feet signals and so on, and associate them to the Greek alphabet, rotating some of them by 90 degrees or whatever, and comparing them with the Greek alphabet. And it appears that they all have a message to give us, and that message is aho, sorrow. But there are other signals there too, which I do not know what they mean at present. Your help would be very much appreciated in solving this. But it seems so far what we've got is that you would read it from bottom to top, and some of the letters, which are all Greek by the way, are rotated by 90 degrees and possibly 180 degrees, etc., depending on how they put them, such as in this painting here. So if you've got any ideas on this, please get back to me, and let's see if we can crack the uncrackable.